Welcome to Stories by SZ, where the strange, the mysterious, and the unexplained come to life. Tonight, we unravel one of the greatest aviation mysteries of our time. 239 souls. This is the story of Flight MH370, March 8, 2014. At 12:41 a.m., Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 took off from Kuala Lumpur International Airport on a routine flight bound for Beijing. On board were 239 people, passengers and crew, destined for a peaceful journey across Asia. But just over an hour later, the plane vanished from radar, leaving no trace behind. No distress signal. No emergency call. Nothing. It is a story that has confounded aviation experts, government officials, and loved ones of the passengers. Where did it go? Why did it disappear? This is the story of Flight MH370 and the mystery that continues to haunt the skies. MH370, Lost in the Sky. Section 1. The Flight. Flight MH370 was a Boeing 777-200ER, one of the most reliable and widely used commercial aircraft in the world. The flight crew was experienced. Captain Zahari Ahmad Shah, aged 53, had over 18,000 flying hours and was well respected in the aviation community. He had been with Malaysia Airlines for over 30 years. Beside him, First Officer Fariq Abdul Hamid, a 27-year-old pilot, was relatively young but had a solid record with the airline. He had also accumulated a few thousand flight hours. At 12:41 a.m., MH370 took off from Kuala Lumpur International Airport. For the first 40 minutes, the flight proceeded as expected. The plane climbed to its cruising altitude of 35,000 feet, and communications between the cockpit and air traffic control were routine. The last radio transmission came at 1:19 a.m., a simple message from Captain Zahari. "Oh, good night, Malaysian 370. Then, in a matter of minutes, the plane disappeared from civilian radar. At 1:21 a.m., MH370's transponder, which sends out position data to radar stations, was switched off. The plane's location was now a mystery. Section 2. The Disappearance. In the moments after the transponder went silent, something extraordinary happened. The aircraft's flight path deviated sharply. MH370 made an unexplained left turn, heading westward, back across the Malaysian peninsula and into the Malaysian airspace. Then it turned south, flying across the Indian Ocean, a remote and vast expanse of water where, if something were to go wrong, help could be hours away. This deviation was no accident. The plane flying for hours after its last known position indicated a deliberate change in course. But why? What happened on board? Did something cause to lose control? Was there a mechanical failure? Did someone intentionally alter the plane's course? A breakthrough came later when it was revealed that MH370's satellite communication system continued to ping a ground station every hour. These handshakes were the only clue that the plane was still airborne. The last of these pings came at 8:19 a.m., roughly 7 hours after the plane's disappearance from radar. Section 3. The Search. As the news spread, an international search effort was launched. The search was massive, spanning millions of square kilometers of ocean, stretching over the Indian Ocean and its remote regions. Ships, planes, and submarines scoured the ocean floor, and governments from 26 countries pooled resources, hoping to uncover the plane's final location. In July 2015, a significant clue was discovered when a flaperon, a piece of the plane's wing, was found washed up on the shore of Réunion Island, located 3,800 kilometers from the last known position of MH370. It was confirmed to be part of the Boeing 777, but the discovery did little to close the case. It only deepened the mystery. In the years following, small pieces of debris were found in Mozambique, Mauritius, and Tanzania. These fragments were consistent with what would be expected from a Boeing 777, but none of them provided the breakthrough the investigation desperately needed. $200 million were spent on the search, making it the most expensive in aviation history. Yet, the plane's wreckage remained elusive, and no one could say for certain where the aircraft had gone, or why it had vanished. The official search was called off in 2018, but the mystery remained unsolved. Section 4. Theories. As the years passed and the search yielded no answers, many theories began to emerge. What truly happened to MH370? Was it a tragic accident? Or was something more sinister at play? Here are the most widely discussed theories that have captivated the public and investigators alike. Theory 1. Pilot suicide. One of the most controversial theories involves Captain Zahari Ahmad Shah. Some believe he deliberately crashed the plane in a planned suicide. Evidence came to light that Zahari had practiced a similar flight path on his home flight simulator, a path that closely resembled the route MH370 took over the southern Indian Ocean. But this theory remains unproven. Many argue that Zahari had no history of mental illness, and there was no evidence to suggest he had any motive for such a drastic action. Why would he fly for 7 hours after making a deliberate turn? And why would he leave the other passengers and crew at risk? Theory 2. Hijacking or terrorism. Another theory suggests that terrorists or hijackers might have taken control of the plane. 2 passengers aboard MH370 were later revealed to have been traveling with stolen passports, which raised suspicions. However, no terrorist organization ever claimed responsibility, and the investigation found no evidence linking the passengers to any terrorist groups. Still, some speculate that the plane may have been hijacked and diverted to a remote location for purposes unknown. But again, why wouldn't the hijackers make contact with authorities? Theory 3. Mechanical failure or fire. Could a mechanical failure or fire on board incapacitate the crew and cause the plane to change course? Some experts believe that the plane suffered a catastrophic event, such as a fire or decompression, rendering the crew unconscious. If the autopilot took over, the plane would have continued flying on its predetermined course, without any input from the crew. But the 7-hour flight time remains puzzling. If there was a fire or sudden emergency, why didn't the pilots attempt an emergency landing? Theory 4. U.S. military intervention. A more fringe theory suggests that MH370 was shot down by the U.S. military near the Diego Garcia base, a secretive military installation in the Indian Ocean. Proponents of this theory claim the plane was mistaken for a hostile aircraft and destroyed. However, no credible evidence has ever surfaced to support this theory, and governments have denied any involvement. Additionally, no wreckage has been found near Diego Garcia, making this theory highly unlikely. Nearly 10 years after MH370 disappeared, the mystery remains unsolved. The plane's final destination is still unknown. The families of the passengers are left with painful uncertainty, and the rest of the world continues to wonder, what really happened to Flight MH370? Until then, this case serves as a haunting reminder that even in an age of advanced technology, some questions may never have answers. As the search ends and the theories persist, the memory of MH370 remains. What do you think happened to MH370? Do you believe one of the theories is more plausible than the others? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if this video has captivated you, make sure to like and subscribe for more investigations into unsolved mysteries.